Welcome back to Fred Talk. I am your host, Freddie Valoy. Happy July, end of July, baby. We are oh gosh, the end of summer. I'm very pleased with myself. Is anybody's least favorite season the summer? Is there anybody out there like that? Come on, come on, wide backs. Come on, big people. I know you with me. I know us big people, we're not, we'll take summer, right? We'll show some skin even. But us big folk, we sweat. And you don't even gotta be big. People who sweat a lot probably don't like the summer. How you holding out? What do you do? Do you carry around a sweat towel like a middle-aged black man? Because that's where I'm at. I'm in year 2 of middle-aged black man. I'm 37. Yeah, 36 is year 1, 37 is year 2. So I kind of feel like me carrying around the sweat towel for the summer is like a rite of passage for me. I've been called Unk once in my life, and I'm waiting for that to be a more regular occurrence. So if you don't know what Unk is, I know we have people from many different cultures, corporate culture, black culture, white culture. Unk is short for uncle. And it's typically a young black man will call an older black man Unk, and it's a sign of respect. And I'm waiting for that, or at least to happen more regularly. So yeah, summer's out here. Sweat towel is steaming, and supposedly this is the hottest summer out there. I asked someone, I was like, "Is this the hottest summer in a while?" And they were like, "No, I think it's fine." And then the person directly next to them was like, "No, this is literally recorded statistically as the hottest summer." The first person I asked, they don't even leave the house. They stay in their apartment the whole time. But they answered very confidently, which is why you got to be careful out here in these streets with who you're asking for information from, right? So I'm thinking, listen, if this is the hottest summer in recordings or recorded, then I'm good. Sometimes you just gotta like live in the sweat. Just let it drip down. Be sexy. Pretend you're in a music video. That's what you got to do, because the more you worry about the sweat, the more you're gonna sweat. Right? You get what you think about the most. So if you're thinking about being a sweaty mess, you're gonna be a sweaty mess. But if you're thinking about being a hot, sexy, glistening motherfucker with a little light dust and a sweat, an acceptable amount of sweat, then that's what you're going to be. It's like when you're on a skateboard and I think this is a Tony Robbins example. He was like, if you're in a car and you're going down a tree, or if your car skids out of control, you're going to head to right where you're looking at. So if you're looking at a tree, you're going to hit a tree. And I was like, good job, Tony, with your big ass fucking hands and shit. It's got to be annoying. Like if you like were Tony Robbins' friend coming up, it must have been super annoying to have him as a friend. Like if you really wasn't on that, like you didn't. He wasn't credible yet. He was just this dude that was wearing a suit and telling you how to live your life. That must be super annoying. Which we all know. I bet you we all have someone like that in our life, and they'll never be Tony Robbins, but they think they know it all. But you love him anyway, right? I don't know. I don't know. Have y'all done the Barbenheimer double feature? I have not. I'm definitely gonna go watch Barbie. I hear it's a must watch. I was going for the comedy. I heard the comedy writing is really good. But here's a little nugget for those of you that are interested in watching it. Is that the movie is apparently weirdly like philosophical and deep. And apparently there's two complex storylines with both Barbie and Ken where it's very like existential and like midlife crisisy, which I think we all as millennials and whatnot, even if you're Gen Z listening to this, you probably just realize that the world sucks. Or not that the world sucks, or like you got. You headed on one path because society was telling you to go one way, and then you realize that wasn't it. And that's the one thing I like about Gen Z is that they didn't really got as much as millennials did. Millennials, we got. We were little people pleasing motherfuckers. We'll get the good grades and we'll go to the good college or the halfway decent college, and then we'll get the job. And then they're gonna tell us we've all been very good boys and girls. And then when we realized that didn't happen, we got bitter and we got angry because we were little fucking people pleasing motherfuckers. But this is what I appreciate about Gen Z. Gen Z, as clowny as it is, with social media and TikTok and all that, they have more of the entrepreneurial spirit, which I like a lot. Just that like self accountability. Every generation has their good or bad, and I think that's the good part of Gen Z. Boomers are Boomers are the worst of them all. I'm hoping that when millennials get to boomer age, like when we're in our 60s and 70s, we don't suck as bad as the boomers did. And I'm looking at Gen X here because Gen X is the second best, I think, is the second best generation. Number one, here's my ranking of generation. Right now, number one is Gen Z. I got to give it to them. They're having fun. They're partying. I think the last episode I talked about this. They are partying. They're the band on the ship, bro. They're having fun as the world is going to shit, and I appreciate that. Second place is Gen X. They like, you know, I think they graduated college during the 90s and shit, so they still had the last little bit of the good economy, and they're aware of that. They know that they were in a good pocket, and they typically Gen X stays pretty quiet about what's going on. Then the next is millennials. We're close. We suck. I think. Oh, generationally, we suck almost as much as boomers, but boomers are worse than us. So that is my ranking of generations, my unsolicited ranking of the generations. If you disagree, let me know. I would love to have a spirited debate about this. All right, loser kisses the winner. Okay, that's the rules. Whenever I debate someone, we have to passionately make out at the end of the debate just to let everybody know, hey, at the end of the day, we're all friends, okay? So that is how I debate, which is why nobody wants to debate me. So, all right, y'all, we're going to get into today's stories. This one is from Psychology Post on Instagram. Ambitious, speaking of people pleasers, ambitious people are more likely to engage in extreme behavior when they feel like they are being treated unfairly compared to others. So apparently ambitious people, so this article says they're characterized by strong motivation towards great and valuable objectives. Yes, great and valuable to them. Absolutely. Often with the goal to gain respect and recognition from others. Millennials, baby, we out here. Tell me I'm a good boy. Who got a praise king? You got a praise king? Here, let me give you this gold star, girl. Justice sensitivity captures individual differences in the frequency with which injustice is perceived and the insensitivity to emotional, cognitive, and behavioral reactions to it. That was a little twisted, y'all. This is given reasons why ambitious people are more likely to engage in extreme behavior and they're more sensitive to injustices. But I think this is just because ambitious people are selfish little cunts. They are, excuse me, not all of them. Ambitious people tend to be selfish little cunts. And when you're ambitious and you're used to achieving goals, because if you set a goal and you take action and execute, and you keep going and you have drive, persistence, and execution, that gets you further than anything. That gets you way further. Like if you had intelligence and no drive, you're going to live a very frustrated life. I know a lot of smart people that are very, very frustrated. And I also know a lot of people that aren't necessarily intellectually smart, but they're driven and they execute. They execute first, ask questions later. And I promise you, they're living a better life than the rest of us. But a lot of intelligent people, they stop to question things. They're more aware typically of the consequences. So that'll prevent them from taking action. But ambitious people, you get used to getting you're eventually hitting the goal. You get used to hitting goals. Yeah, you get used to failure as well, which is also great because the thought of failing doesn't stop you from persisting, right? But I think this is a matter of like, yeah, you're used to getting what you want and figuring it out, and when you don't, you get a little cunty about it, and that's okay, right? We all have our negatives and positives, right? But I think this is something with ambitious people engaging in behavior and extreme behavior. It sounds like somebody that throws a tantrum when they don't get what they want. Extreme behavior. I do that myself, actually. I guess I'm considered an ambitious person, but I do have a nice little slice of lazy in me. I only do things so that I can enjoy resting, because I can't rest appropriately if I don't do shit. And I don't know if that's a sickness or not. I feel like that's a good way to be. But I only like to do things and then like to have a day where I'm just like doing nothing. And I feel good. I'm not one of these people that are like, I don't know how to sit down and do nothing. I could do that. I could sit in a room and I could stay in the room in bed all day. I can. It's good to get up and it's good to, I get out and get sunlight and move around, because I got shit to do, but I can sit around especially if I got a shorty with me. You know what I'm talking about? One of them lazy days. Maybe I went out partying and now you're, it's one of those dark room. We're ordering, after we hit the gym in the morning, maybe, and we do a little walk. We snuggle up and watch some movies. That's good. And when you do stuff, it makes the laziness better. It's like people that go to the gym so that they can eat like shit, which is also another category that I'm in. I work out just so I could like enjoy some, a donut every now and then and not feel bad. And when I say every now and then, actually, I don't eat that many donuts. I could have more donuts in my life. How about you, listener? Huh? Do you think you could have more donuts in your life? Tune into the next Fred Talk. No, I'm just kidding. We still have more episode, y'all. We're not going to end on donuts. All right, ambitious people. We're done with them. Shout out to ambitious people. The next story, the UN warns that global warming is over and global boiling has arrived. Yes, queen. Yes, they announced this like it is a literal like fashion trend. Like, move over, low-rise jeans, high waist mom jeans are back in town. This seems like pure marketing. Yeah, this seems like I don't know why, but my intuition is telling me there's some fuckery going on here. First of all, UN warns that the global warming is over and global boiling is in. I feel like it's a big jump. I feel like to go from warming to boiling is jump. There needs to be a hot phase, right? There needs to be a global hot girl phase. That the global hot girl is what we need here. I would believe this more. Who put this out? Let's read the little article thing. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres declared that the era of global warming, Antonio Guterres, this could be, he sounds like a gay dude from Miami. I'm telling you, this is very Yes Queen fashion. This is going to be at Art Basel. This sounds like global boiling sounds like an art installation. All right. So declared that the era of global warming has ended and the era of global boiling has begun. This statement came after scientists confirmed that July was on track to be the hottest month on record. Boom. With global temperatures breaking previous records. Ooh, hell yeah, baby. Number one, baby. Earth is number one. We are always evolving, constantly getting better. Climate change caused by the burning of fossil fuels has intensified extreme weather events worldwide. Then there's also the natural ebbs and flows of things. I think there's a mix, right? Right? Because like this is obviously climate change is a super politicized thing, and it's like, is it man-made? The liberals are like, it's man-made. And then the conservatives are like, trans people are causing global warming. This is, I think it's a mix. I think it's a mix of people causing it, which I think they have proof, right, from ice cores that they've pulled, ice cores, and then I think there's also a natural ebb and flow of climate of the climate changing, kind of like on its own through like what the universe does, right? It expands, it extracts. It's gonna get cold and it's gonna get hot. Everything kind of follows that like the pattern of the universe, right? Typically, things that are more intense last a shorter time, and things that are more light persist for more chronic times. Think of like a strong rainstorm. Climate change caused by the burning of fossil fuels has intensified extreme weather events. Gutierrez stressed that the urgent need for immediate dramatic action to limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. What is that? What is that? Like 200 degrees regular? What is 1.5 Celsius? The formula for converting Celsius to Fahrenheit. Do you guys remember that one? There was a fraction in there. If you threw a fraction in, I'm out. I'm done. It was like nine divided by 5 over, you know what I'm talking about? 9 over 5 times 32 degree or something like that. It was some shit like that. And avert the worst consequence. Here's the thing about like, I appreciate the people. He called on political leaders to act swiftly and decisively to combat the climate change as humanity faces critical and terrifying challenges. And the first comment I see is Raleigh comedian Brent Blakeney. We used to do comedy. We used to, do mics and shows and shit together out there. He says, let him cook. Shout out to Brent Blakeney. Follow him. If you're into tall dudes, ladies, he's 6'7" and he's funny. What else do you need? 6'7" and funny? Shout out to my man Brent Blakeney. I don't know if he's single or not, but I would slide in his DMs, and it's literally Brent Blakeney, BrentBlakeney. So check him out. He's a cute dude. He's tall. He's funny. He's got a good amount of cynicism in him. Bro, I just be spitting bars, bro. Global boiling. That's it's a weird one. Global boiling. Then there was a post from Hillary Clinton that said that the MAGA conservatives are causing global warming. Imagine that if they were like literally like adding to it on purpose. To the conservatives, I know recycle at least. So, and I know some people don't like to befriend people across the political aisle, but I got to keep tabs on both of you fucking psychos. So I got friends from across both the aisles, and I would say across the board, everybody saves or conserves in some way, right? So like the conservatives will recycle, and then they also won't like, they're better with money, so they won't spend shit. They don't buy, but obviously I think the liberals got it. More liberals like compost and shit like that. But then there's those like free conservatives. Those conservatives, like, they're more conspiratorial. They're like, oh, we're not cheap. The people that think they're super interesting, that they want to, they want to live off the land. Like that's a great way, and grow their own shit. That's the best way, I think, to fight global warming. Me and global warming, I'm a guy that likes the cold, so we don't really get along. But this global boiling shit is kind of pissing me off a little bit. But so just so y'all know, if you're wondering, this summer's been super hot. It has been the hottest July in record months. So moving on to the next story. Oh God. Oh Jesus. Okay. Everything we found out about aliens yesterday. Oh, I thought that was going to read different. So apparently there has been proof. Like this dude in Congress, his name is David Grush, says on camera or whatever. Let me see if I can just pull the audio. Let me see if hold on. Video has no sound. And you know what? That's okay. Listen. David Grush says that there was non-human biologics found in a crash from a UFO, and then there's been other reported instances of people finding UFOs, right? So what is a UFO? An unidentified flying object. So you can find a UFO and not necessarily find an alien. And I'm talking about like an extraterrestrial being, not a Mexican or an immigrant, an undocumented, a DACA person. None of that. And I'm not talking about that, all right? Because I know I have conservatives listening too, and they're already trying to build, they're building a wall as they're listening to this episode. Calm down, buddy. Put the bricks down. Put the mortar down. All right. We don't need that right now. These are extraterrestrials. How are you going to build that wall? Huh? How are you going to build a wall over the globe? So non-human biologics. When I hear this stuff, I check out. I don't believe it. I'm starting to believe it more. And it seems like society is just like, I think we're ready for aliens at this point. I really do. I think we're ready for extraterrestrials. I think this is the time for them to come. I think right before an election too is. I think right before an election is a great time for the aliens to get here, because then each president will have to comment on like the aliens coming in, and let's just say the aliens are there, and then now they're at the debates and shit like that, bro. Like that would be insane. Like, Mr. Biden, what do you think of the extraterrestrials that have landed, and how will we facilitate the support of alien life on planet Earth? Well, I'll tell you one thing. Mary came down and with a Jezebel and a green hat. And I told her, I told her, with that green hat, you're looking like we going out here on these UFOs, right? And if you don't vote for me, you ain't a real alien. Okay, thank you, Mr. Biden. That was the first time I ever tried a Biden impression. It's mid. I do mid impressions on this podcast. If you didn't know, if you're just tuning in, Only mid impressions. If they get too good, let me. If my impressions are too good, let me know because I gotta dial it back. Nobody wants to fucking try that hard. I'm sweating. I'm sweating because it's global boiling, y'all. Mr. Trump, what would the same question to you about the extraterrestrials? Great guys, great guys. These extraterrestrials, great guys, great. I did my first Trump. Great guys. I talked to the aliens the other day, and they said Sleepy Joe, not a good guy, not a good guy. Trump, big man, big guy. That's such a bad Trump. And now I actually want to make it better, and I'll never do it on the podcast. But off the podcast, I'm gonna have a better Trump impression. I had it for a second there. You heard it. Great guy. You heard it there. But this is good. I like trying stuff, and then putting it out there for the public to be like, ooh, that was kind of bad. Because we can't be afraid to make mistakes, y'all. We can't be afraid to make mistakes. So what would y'all do about these aliens? What are you going into doomsday prepping mode, or are you getting the lube and you know what I'm saying? Like I'm clapping alien cheeks. And I know that's kind of going around social media, but this is something that I would do, and I know I would because I was bricked up during She-Hulk. Only the scenes where she was actually She-Hulk, so she was a big green bitch with a nice full head of hair, dark hair, built like like an IG fitness model, but like you know what I'm saying. She was strong, and I was bricked up watching She-Hulk, and she's green, so I know that I would have sex with an extraterrestrial if the opportunity calls for it. Now, one thing about extraterrestrials, or at least the ones that we've seen, big heads, small, slender bodies, they ain't really caked up like that, or you don't really see them with titties or anything like that. I mean, there's other depictions of aliens that definitely are sexier, but let's just go with the they're built like not very sexy, but I think with those kind of aliens, it's all in the head. Like literally, they their bodies are like that because intellectually they had to use their head more than their physical bodies because they're an advanced technological civilization, right? So I bet you these aliens give crazy, like the sloppiest of top that you could find, and I'm cool with that, right? Maybe the next alien race that comes down, they'll figure it out, or the aliens that move down here probably they'll end up in Miami because that's a great place for aliens to go to. There's already kind of like that motion, right? Couple green motherfuckers wash up on the shore, and maybe these aliens get BBLs, and then the country's tune. What if aliens get BBLs and you start paying? Like, aliens could start an OnlyFans. Aliens could start run their own businesses. There's so many opportunities for the extraterrestrials to get caked up, so that we can clap cheeks. You know what I'm saying? So some people are going to stay away from the aliens, and some people are going to welcome them. You know what I'm saying? With open arms and open legs, and I'm here for that. So let me know in the comments. Let me know in the Instagram chat. Let me know if you guys would clap an alien cheeks, or would you let an alien dick you down, ladies? I know most of my listeners are women. So ladies, would you let an alien dick you down? He has a great personality. He's over 6 feet too. They're 7 feet tall. The aliens, they're super tall, big ass head, skinny bodies. They're built like skaters, smart skaters. Okay, so the choice is yours. All right, and the final story for today: couple sells 8-month-old infant to buy iPhone for high quality reels. In West Bengal's North 24 Parganas district, a couple shockingly sold their 8-month-old baby to purchase the coveted iPhone 14, all in pursuit of creating captivating reels on Instagram while traveling across the region. Authorities have taken swift action, and a police case has been filed against the couple involved in the transaction and the woman who bought the child. The shocking incident happened when the neighbors noticed strange behavior from the couple, even though their 8-month-old baby was missing. The parents didn't seem worried or anxious because they just got that new phone, dog. They're like, look at this. What's funny is that they could have kept their baby, got an Android, and got a better camera. Android has a better camera than iPhone. And I'm a lifelong not my whole life, but I've been an iPhone user since 2010 or some shit like that. I don't have a team. When someone shows me their picture on an Android, it looks better than Apple. I don't know I don't know what to tell y'all. They could have got an Android and they could have kept their family. And this is what I'm talking about, bro. Apple is obviously they're part of the Apple's trying to destroy the nuclear family, is what they're doing. You got people selling their babies for phones, which is wild. I mean, lady, you know, just have some green text messages and keep your baby. They wild. All right. So the neighbors became more suspicious when the Gosh family suddenly got an expensive iPhone 14, which costs whatever. According to reports, this was surprising because the family had financial problems in the past. It sounds like their neighbors knew a little too much. But this neighborhood sounds nosy as shit. All right. So let's go there. In a deep, distressing twist of events, the neighbors confronted the couple, leading to a heartbreaking confession from the mother. The mother cracked under the pressure. Mom was snitching, which that makes sense. The mom, I don't even know how she sold it up front, but she would be the first one to break, right? Because that motherly bond. Under immense pressure, she admitted that she and her husband had made the painful decision to trade their beloved infant to acquire funds for an iPhone. God damn, dude. They aim to curate captivating reels. I don't know why the word captivating makes me laugh. And they traded their baby for captivating reels, showcasing their travels across different parts of the state on social media. They ain't even traveling the world, bro. They're like, I'm gonna sell this baby, and we're gonna take pictures of the neighborhood, captivate, so they can have captivating reels. Do you follow their Instagram account to make the selling of the child worth it? I mean, this is wild. Listen, I would say that this family did what a lot of parents have thought about doing. From what I hear, parenting is the hardest, the most difficult thing you could do, and at the same time, most gratifying, because that's how it is in life. A lot of times, the things that bring the most gratification, and pride and fulfillment, tend to be the things that are the hardest. I don't even have a kid. I do stand up comedy, and I'm naturally built to do something like that, or to be a comedian. And it's hard. It's the hardest thing I do because I care about it so much. So imagine that times 50 million thousand when it comes to a kid. So you hear parents, honest parents, that tell you, bro. Like a lot of them will say, I wouldn't have my kids. A lot of liars say, I wouldn't trade them for the world, blah blah blah. But this family traded in for an iPhone 14, and I think it's starting to expose. Right? Hopefully this doesn't start a trend, because it seems to me that this might start a trend for this might start a trend for people selling their babies for, a Peloton bike, right? You could give up the thing that's making you fat and get something that makes you skinny all in a fell swoop. And is this a form of child trafficking? This absolutely is, even though you're the mother. Obviously, y'all, we're making sillies here. Hopefully these people get help. Hopefully the baby is found. But think about a time, if you're a parent, think about a time where you would have traded your kid for an iPhone 14 in the West, North 24 Padganas in West Bengal. Huh? Some people have significant others they would want to do that to. That's the real one. Imagine you wake up in Bangladesh because your girl set that up for you. She drugged you up, and you wake up in a shipping container as it's opening up, and you're in India, like, oh shit, the bitch got me. So guys, be careful who you fall in love with, because you don't want to end up in West Bengal, North 24 Parganas. Guys, share my stuff. I love you so much. Have a good summer. Be safe. Share my stuff. Get somebody to fucking, if you haven't subscribed, just do it. It helps the numbers. And you could always catch up, right? You could always pause the episode. You could always people have been telling me they've been binging it. Be careful with binging me. People like my voice until they don't. So just I would keep the binges at 3 episodes a session. That's an hour of your time, because I keep these episodes short, 20 to 25 minutes. 20 is the minimum. All right. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. And don't we make jokes here, right? we push the line. But guys, I don't know if anybody needs to hear this. Don't sell your baby for an iPhone 14. Okay, it's not going to work out. You think it is. The reels, although captivating, it brings a dark undertone that we don't need. Bye.